we always realize how like grateful we are for being here. We have tons of friends as well. It's I think sometimes we have a busier social life than we did before.
I'm Dr. Chamonix, ex-corporate and academical turned CEO and board member of several companies and mother of 4 little extraordinary kids. But it wasn't that long ago that I lacked the confidence, the know-how, and the time to focus on designing and really going after the life that I so wanted to live. A life of freedom, of fairness, and of being fair dinkum to who I really was and what I wanted to get out of this fleeting time that we have on Mother Earth. Fast forward to many lessons learned and moving halfway around the world to the most amazing country, you'll see the life that I now live. One that gives me more safety and freedom than I ever thought would be possible, and that really only existed as a daydream while I was living in South Africa. I created Chamonix TV to give you true spot advice on how you can also live a life in this amazing country, and so that you can see how another couple like us now live in Australia with 4 little kids here in Down Under. And I'll be providing you with step-by-step strategies so that you can make your Aussie dream a reality too. If you're a keen future Aussie who's looking to create a life that excites you and offers you safety, freedom, and opportunity, you have come to the right place, my friend. Welcome aboard.
Hi, Marga. Thank you so much for joining us today, all the way from sunny Sydney, although you're saying it's a cold Sydney today.
Freezing.
How have you guys been? How long have you been Sydney-siders for?
For about 2.5 years now.
And do you feel like you're a Sydney-sider, or do you feel like you're a South African, or what do you identify with in your entity?
I think we are somewhere in the middle at the moment, but getting there.
Thank you so much for joining us and having a chat and sharing your story. So please tell us, how did you come to Australia? Obviously by a plane. I assume you didn't come by boat. But what made you make the move?
My hubby worked in finance and he always had a backup plan. He was looking after parastatals and he said it was just shocking how much money the banks were throwing behind them into a black hole. And he kept saying the rand is going to crash because it's not sustainable. We have to get out. So he sort of applied for our visas as a backup plan. And and then we came on our look, see and decide trip. And I walked into my company's it's a global company. So I walked into the office just to see what it's like. And they basically said to me, wow, it's like you sent from heaven. We need this role filled. It's exactly what you're doing. We've been struggling to fill it. Can you start next month? So that was slightly unplanned. Plan at all, because we were busy planning our wedding. And the plan was my husband would come over and I would follow and I would sort everything out at home. And then it just worked out the opposite way around.
So you were the first one over?
Yeah, I came
officially
alone.
over. Yes.
I came by myself, and then I was here for about a month and a half, and then I flew back for a week for my wedding, and then we flew back here together. That was our honeymoon.
Okay, so you brought some doggies as well?
Yes. Finally, he came a few months after we got here, but it was lovely. He came like he was sent, just when it was getting tough, and then he came. It's like a little piece of family.
So you have your husband with you, and then you have a little person as well in your life?
Yes. It was pretty exciting. We got married, and then like a few months later, I heard we were pregnant. So he's already just over a year. So he's a little Aussie.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. And what's his name?
His name's Reese.
Reese. I'm sure the Aussies can get that one.
Yeah, that they can get. We tried to pick something not with an A in it, because if we said it, they would not understand it.
Oh, sweet. And is Reese at home with you during the day, or you go to work, or do you work from home, or how do you manage being a mom? There's your dog behind you. I could see him. And how did he manage the immigration, like the whole travel bit?
Yeah, he was not himself. He wasn't a happy hound. The day we picked him up, he was pretty unimpressed by us. We were so happy to see him, but he was just looking at us like, "What did you do to me?" The
Oh,
poor thing hates even driving far. So we had to obviously fly to, I think, Doha. There was a layover, then to Melbourne for quarantine. At least it's not as long anymore. And then it was in the middle of the winter. He actually came around this time last year, I think almost exactly to the day. Not last year, the year before. And yeah, he didn't seem to impress the poor hound.
but he's okay. He settled in okay. He didn't have any specific carryover injuries.
No, he was
Okay.
fine. He went a bit berserk the first time I left him in the new house, and he ate all the wooden. We had like massive sliding doors with wooden frames, and I left him outside, and he tried to eat his way in. So there were chunks of wood pulled out, and he's never done anything like that. So, but he's all good now.
Oh, and obviously he's not the baby in the house anymore since there's a new kid on the block.
Yes.
I know what it feels like. Your dog is your baby at first, and then you get children, and then it changes a little bit the dynamics in the house.
Yes, exactly. He's not the firstborn anymore.
Yes. But how has settling in as a mum in Australia been for you, and working? Because it's pretty hard if you don't have family around, but there are systems in place. And so you're using daycare, and how has that been for you so far?
Look, it's been hard. My mother was booked to come for 3 months to be here for the birth. And then that was just when we had the first lockdown with COVID in March. So she literally just missed it. And now, yeah, we haven't seen anyone since. So it's pretty hard. And he's the first grandchild. So they're pretty bummed about it. But I mean, there's such great systems in place here. Like as soon as I came out of the hospital, I got phoned. I didn't even know that the hospital gave my number to a group. So they phone you, and it's like every sort of area has like a nurses center where you can take the baby at any time. And there's psychologists, and there's like lactation specialists, and there's physiotherapists, and everything you can use for free. And they also set you up with people who had a baby in the same area around the same time. So that was a real blessing. I made such good friends, and all the babies are the same age, and everyone was going through the same. So yeah.
That mothers group has saved me from being a first-time mother. Tell us a little bit, Marga, about your job, because you mentioned that it's an international company. What do you do, if you don't mind, and how did the visa process work for you guys?
I worked for Pernod Ricard, a liquor company, who owns Absolute and Jameson and all sorts of big brands, and Chivas Regal. I came over with being transferred to them, and then literally 5 months in, they retrenched like half of the Sydney office. So I'm still in liquor for a smaller wine company now. The visa was pretty easy because we had PR already. So, yeah.
So you applied for PR before you moved to Australia?
Yes.
And on what visa was that?
I think it was a 189, if I'm not mistaken.
And on what kind of skill set did you use?
My husband applied because he was the one who wanted to come. It took a lot of convincing for me to get here eventually.
And then you were the first one who officially came.
I've got such a big family, so close knit, and yeah. So we went on his skill set. He is a CA and a CFA.
All right. Okay. Yeah. And is he working at the moment?
Yes. The first 3 months we got here, he was looking for a job. But the lovely thing here is that I feel like the pay gap for male versus female isn't as wide as in South Africa. So we could totally survive on just my salary for 3 months. And then, yeah, he found a job, but it's his second one now. He's Good. Moving on and up, and also my second job.
Do you guys feel like you've settled into Australia?
Yeah, we're pretty happy to be here. We always realize how like grateful we are for being here. We have tons of friends as well. It's I think sometimes we have a busier social life than we did before.
Oh, good. Well, and public transport really makes it easy to get around if you have to. Oh, well, you can drive as well. But I mean, if you
Yeah.
didn't want to, if you wanted to have a few drinks and catch public transport, then it's easy. Well, what you do learn very quickly if you do come to Australia is that you cannot drink and then drive, which was a very common practice in South Africa when I used to be there.
But you see, you don't have to. That's the beauty of it. In South Africa, you're forced to, because there was nothing before the Uber days. I mean, we all university days where you just like drive when you totally shouldn't, because there was no other options.
But you didn't even think twice about it. It was just how it was. I don't know. It was, scary now if I think about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, luckily we're still safe and sound like we made it through those days. Our angels were helping us.
Yeah, they were working overtime.
And tell me about, what do you miss the most about South Africa, Marga? Is there anything specifically, not friends and family, that's an obvious one, anything other than friends and family?
That's really the only thing. I mean, I do miss the farm a bit. My mom's on a farm with some a little game farm. There's a few things. I had like an eland, like a pet. His name was Boki, and he was a pet. He would run there when my car stopped for us to feed him by hand, that sort of thing. But to be honest, really, it's only the obvious, family and friends.
Oh, wow. Well, that shows that you've clearly very much settled in and made it your home. Do you have any advice for people who are considering coming? And what's the one thing that you think they should definitely pack in their bags?
I reckon to not wait too long, because I've got so many friends contacting me now who's applied for PRs and stuff, but they waited and waited because they have it and they can come when they want. But it's just getting harder to get the sponsored jobs and things. So I've got friends who's already sold their house and they're renting because everything is ready, but they're just waiting for a sponsorship on it's a short skill too. So you'd think they'd get it, but it's just becoming harder and harder. So if you can, jump on it. And the only thing I think that you should pack is probably ACC and Carenza C.
Very important.
Yeah, now in winter we need it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your story with us. We appreciate it a lot. And
thanks,
hopefully, it's my pleasure. Hopefully we'll be able to chat again when there might be some more little people in your house running around.
I know, too soon.
Lovely to chat you, Marga, and enjoy your day.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you had fun, please remember to hit that subscribe button, and then it'll make sure that you never miss a thing. I'll see you same time and same place next week. Bye for now.